You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl. And it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again. And you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
Well, hello there. It's been far too long since I put out a video. Since what, October 2024? Shit, it's time to fix that with the only way I know how. That's right, it's time to cover some fresh and interesting Project Zomboid mods for your viewing pleasure. I'm sorry about the delays, and while it is partly due to mental shit, I'm not gonna make excuses, so it's time to get back to the grind and get to work. But before we start, I want to do a shout out to the ever lovely Katophoenix. Go commission her for all your nice artwork needs. Now let's kick it off with an SCP, or at least one that certainly feels like it, an Ikea the size of a city. Have you ever gotten lost in a warehouse store such as Costco, Sam's Club, or Ikea? If so, then you're aware of how absolutely massive those stores can be. I mean, there's a reason that there's an SCP called the Infinite Ikea. If you're familiar with that, then you'll feel right at home, but replace the homicidal store employees trying to kill you for the sin of staying in the store too long, to hordes of the ravenous undead trying to rip you apart limb from limb, while trapped in an Ikea larger than a small town. Seriously, I spawned somewhere in the middle. I just kept walking and walking till the horde started getting a little too big and eventually dragged me down. But hey, if you can get in and survive, you'll find almost everything you could ever need to survive and thrive, from construction equipment and tools, generators, diners serving fresh burgers, cafes and bakeries loaded with snacks. You'll be set for life, at least until you unlife. The only thing you miss is going to be the fuel station to keep the place running. Though functionally that doesn't really matter, as the entire map is the Ikea, so fuel's not going to be a concern. This place is one essentially big ass challenge map. I'd recommend you boot it as a sandbox, make it to where the power and water don't go out, and see how long you can last, and how many of the undead you can bring down. Because you're trapped until the end, survivor. Nice work, Ing and Bronder. Now let's cover something a little more lasered in to fulfill a smaller niche. Have you ever had a hard time finding guns and hunting supplies in Muldraugh? Well, if so, then this next small map mod is for you. This mod by Jack of Spades adds a military surplus and hunting store to the south of Muldraugh, directly south of the Rusty Rifle Bar. The mod at the time of making this video is not minimap compatible, so it can be a little bit of a challenge to find it if you're looking for it on a new map using that UI. But hey, this small store adds a quality source of plenty of guns, ammo, military clothing, and hunting supplies like traps for all of your survival needs, to make your Muldraugh spawn a little simpler. Now keep in mind that all the entrances are barricaded with metal shutters though, so you'll need to bring a sledgehammer with and either bring down one of the walls or the doors to get in. Otherwise, you're good to get your loot on. Now let's move on to someplace a little more DIY, shall we? Have you ever wanted to build your own place in game, but you don't know where to begin? Or just are annoyed because there's no lighting outside of lamps, so you have to find lamp spots where you want to put them everywhere? Well, if this is the case, then check the Build It mod by a user I think is named Hyperborea. I don't know, their username's weird looking on Steam, but I digress. This mod adds 3 new buildings to the north of Rosewood, next to a small lake, with a dock that are all in a state of construction. It's up to you to find the materials you need to fill the walls out, plaster and paint them to be your own personal taste. The perks of this particular mod is you already have a nice framework to make your own property, with the benefit of the buildings having wiring already established for internal lights, but you'll still have to supply your own plumbing. The nice thing about it being a blank canvas though is you can make whichever room you want to be whatever layout you like. Want the kitchen upstairs? Go for it. You want to turn the garage into a bathroom for some reason? Well, it's your home, so do it. Well, it's a little thing. I do like the fact the building does still have electrical wiring, so you don't have to rely on lamps as your only source of lighting in the entire building. Location's also nice if you want to take a crack at heading into Rosewood, or if you're running out of Rosewood, might be a nice place to hide out. It's even got a convenient floor mattress upstairs you can use until you find a suitable replacement, at which point it now becomes your guest floor mattress. I also like the small lake, as I'll always like having a nearby source of fish and easily cleaned water. Overall, solid work, buddy. Are you fond of religious cultists and wackos? Well, if so, thanks to Neonium, we have the Mount Carmel Center, also known as the place the Waco siege happened in 1993. Home to the Branch Davidians, led by David Koresh, you too can play out your desperate last siege, but this time maybe it'll work out better in your favor, given your foes won't be firing back. Now this map mod's located in a nice location south of the rail station east of Muldraugh, and it's chock full of all sorts of goodies, including food, guns, places to sleep, and all the things a survivor needs to keep going in the short term. Surrounding the compounds also a few admittedly nice looking simple trailers and houses. Looking over photos of the real life Waco compound, this seems to be a pretty solid recreation of the building, so I gotta give morbid props on that. Fittingly enough, I also stormed the compound with firearms, cleared out all the occupants, though they seem to be even more brain dead than most religious nut jobs. Now let's move on to a little less historically relevant mod, shall we? Now this mod I know is a popular one, and for good reason. Have you ever wondered what the map would look like if Mother Nature had started overtaking the world heavily? Well, if so, thanks to Dane, we have the 10 Years Later mod. This mod makes the entire base map, as well as a few modded maps, much more green and leafy. Now the entire outdoor world is overgrown with trees, bushes, grass, and other assorted flora. It's certainly an aesthetically pleasing mod, especially if you like things to be a little bit more green. Though it's not without its detriments too. Good luck driving a car anywhere, as obviously the roads are overgrown, but more importantly, the road is also flooded with tons and tons of weirdly spawned cars. I mean, for some reason there are tons just perfectly parallel or perpendicular to the road. Some of them are even spawning in a big pile literally on top of one another, so that's definitely strange. Now an actual detriment to the mod in my opinion, as I wish there were more buildings overtaken with overgrowth, as for most of the buildings nature is still being stopped by doors and windows. If you want to be thematically appropriate, starting the run with power and water off by default would definitely be more accurate and add to the challenge factor. Be sure to also keep in mind situational awareness, as your visibility is definitely a lot less than usual and it's easy to get swarmed or tripped up in all the new foliage. I think that about covers this mod, so let's move on to the next, shall we? Are you looking for a quaint little getaway from the big city hustle and bustle? Need a nice little vacation away from your day job? Then let me welcome you to the Rosewood Cabins mod. This mod by Enolu adds a series of cabins as well as toilets, sheds, and towers surrounding a lake directly north of the Rosewood prison. Let's hope you just don't meet any escaped convicts while you're enjoying your lovely stay on the lake. I also hope you kept good track of where your security deposit is, as while some of the cabins are comfy cozy, some others are in quite a state of disrepair. And I know that Zombie will do its best to keep your deposit and charge an extra cleaning fee in brains. But hey, while you're in the area, enjoy the beautiful lake, do some fishing, find some nice sweet berries in the woods. Cause hey, you never know when it might be your last opportunity to indulge. Now let's wrap this video up, shall we? Well, hey, we're back to the end of a new video. God knows it's been too damn long. Hell, though it's good to be back, I hope you enjoyed it. We showcased off 6 diverse mods today, ranging from SCPs to small cabins and plenty in between. I think my personal favorite's the Build It mod, as I like building my own base in game, and this gives me a very nice starting point to add my own charm and flair to things. I also really like that the buildings include a nice brick fireplace, which as well as being quite pleasant to look at, also practical. It warms a lot of your house, lets you cook without power, and more. Map mods are always a lot of fun because you never know what treat you're in for when you go exploring. Now then, I'd like to once again thank the lovely Katophoenix for her talented artwork. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, especially the names seen on screen for the support. I hope to see y'all soon in another video. Bye y'all!